Today on Ask the First Selectman, we have a question from Chris, who writes, what's going on with the Darien train station construction? Why is it taking so long? Why is there a lack of visible progress? He says the running joke on the platform each morning is that it's millions over budget and that for every worker, there's one standing around and watching. Can we get an update on the current status, the costs, and the expected timeline?
Sure. So I know this is frustrating, and I've been out to the site at least half a dozen times and have met with the construction team twice, most recently in July. And I know that it's taking a long time. The first thing to say is current timeline. So the project is split into east and west platforms. The east platforms are the ones kind of closest to Norwalk. Those are the ones they're working on right now. And that includes not just the redevelopment of the platforms, but infrastructure, the redo of the elevators, all of that kind of work. Now, currently, that work on the east side of the station is supposed to be finished in mid-October. I'm going to produce a video in mid-October that explains how the commuter access patterns need to change around the station when that happens. So we'll get that out to make sure everybody's clear about it, but you're going to have to change kind of how you get to the platforms when you get on the train once all that's completed. Once that's done, the work on the west platforms is going to start, and they're forecasting that that is going to be finished sometime May or June next year, in which case, at that point, the whole station is finished. That's a fairly big delay from what they had originally projected, and that's been caused by some work that's been upstream and downstream from the Darien station that's slowed their efforts. We've had some weather difficulties. We've had a few suppliers go out of business for materials that were being provided for this work. And they've had some technical problems with the platform panels, which I think I explained in a prior video, are actually going to be electrically heated to eliminate the need for salt treatment of those surfaces in the winter. And this will be the first station in all of Connecticut that has electrically heated platforms. So bottom line is when we do finally get through this will be a very welcome update to that station. And I think you guys will be happy with it. I know it's frustrating, but we will get there. In terms of the workers, as I've said before, keep in mind that a lot of the work actually has to be done when the tracks are shut down, when they can shut the power off so those workers can work safely. Most of that work is done between 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning. And so that's the quiet time for them. And so if you were to go out there and see the work at night, you'd see that they're actually quite busy. In terms of staffing requirements, supervisors, all of that, I know it looks like sometimes they're not doing any work, but a lot of those are safety inspections that are required by law. And these folks and the workers who are there are really just following those regulations, and they're important that we let them do their work. Finally, in terms of the budget, I've heard conflicting numbers, but as I had said in a previous video, I think the original budget was in the $34 million zip code. That budget has gone up by a few $1,000,000, partly because of these delays. But the good news for the town is that all of the construction costs are being funded by the Department of Transportation. There are no costs to the town of Darien for the update to this station because it is in fact owned by the DOT. So that's where we are. Please be patient. I think you'll be very satisfied with the results when we're finished. And look for a video from me in mid-October when we transition to the work on the west side of the station.
If you have a question for our first selectman, just email it to us. Our new email address is darientv@darionct.gov.